What's up, guys? Welcome back. So, I've had some time to recover, to heal, and I just want to let you guys know that the things that I share on YouTube, on all social media platforms, basically my life. I share experiences, I share life events, and some of the wisdom that I learned from the people that I look up to are basically lessons that I've had to learn over the years. Sometimes there's a part of me that wishes I would have known these things because maybe I would have avoided a lot of drama, a lot of troubles in my life. But I'm thankful that I learned from them, and obviously that has made me a stronger human being. And well, this conversation in particular was with someone, an individual, that shared their life experience about some of the things that they're going through when it comes to boundaries. And pretty much what they did say was that it gets exhausting trying to tell people to back off, to just stop. And I couldn't help myself but think about and feel when I was in high school, where I used to want to blend in so much. I didn't have any confidence, and I wanted to blend in because I wanted to be liked. I was in bilingual classes, and many times, I would get bullied from not knowing the language and from looking a certain way. So I started changing my image, and I started to blend in, and I started to act like the people that were popular. And then once I gained that popularity, however it was, I felt better about myself. But at the time, it felt like the right thing to do because I didn't want to be an outcast. And then over the years, which is funny because now I like being an outcast. I like being different. I like being me. But sometimes, I think about like, damn, like I've changed so much, right? And basically, before I started the sport, I didn't understand self-respect, consent, like what it means to respect myself and not allowing people to disrespect me, verbally, physically. And I went through a lot of traumas. And so when I was having this conversation with this person, I just couldn't help but think like, man, like if you could only just use your voice, use yourself, use your confidence to say back off. First off, I was listening to this for the first time, and I didn't want to overstep boundaries and say, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. But then I thought about, if someone were to tell me, or someone that I trusted were to tell me, hey, you can have a voice, you do have a voice to speak up, and you do have a voice to say, no, I'm not okay with this, then I think I would have avoided a lot of things. There was a class that I attended. He was a women's self-defense class, actually. And I attended my sister's self-defense class. And they were talking about like space, and pretty much you're establishing space by extending your arm. And when I thought about that, I thought about how in MMA, the way that we learn how to recognize our reach when we throw a jab across, we extend our arm. And basically, when we jab, we're using our reach to build that space. And then I thought about, if people get close to me when we're fighting, I'm going to get my ass beat. So they got to stay in my range. And that's why when people are bigger than me and I get in through that pocket, I can catch them because I'm basically a short person. I'm trying to go in there and then ding, ding, ding. Like Mike Tyson. So, and it wasn't until I started learning the concept of building that space. And, even throughout the years, I struggled when it comes to the sport and striking. And it's crazy because I didn't learn that till now. And I didn't start recognizing it till now, that I use the same philosophy in my everyday life. Physically, I've had experiences where, there are certain individuals that try to get close to me. And I did use my voice and I did say back off. And I was not kidding. And so it was one of those good moments for me because I built those good repetitions to say, hey, this is not okay. But understanding the fact that if I'm not okay with something, I have to say it. And this specific person doesn't have, or maybe they're struggling with figuring themselves out and building that confidence. Like I said, I'm bringing this up because it's a very special subject for me, and it's a topic that it does get to me at times because I struggle with that for a lot of years, to respect myself and understand that I can use my voice and I can use the things that I learned from MMA, from self-defense, all those things, and use that to protect myself. With that being said, I come across a lot of people that say that I have a resting bitch face. And before, I used to get offended, like, damn, I don't want to have that face. I don't want to look mean. I want to be friendly. I want to be nice, all these things. But now it's like, I don't care. I don't care that I look mean. But the people that actually take the time to observe my actions, my intentions, are the ones that understand why I'm the way that I am. I do think I'm a nice person, but not nice enough to allow people to disrespect me. There's a difference between being nice to someone and respecting someone. You could be nice, but I still respect yourself. And you can still be nice and not allow people to overstep boundaries. Now that I've gone through this recovery process, having this free time does make certain people think that I'm vulnerable, that I can be accessible. And just because I have a lot of free time that I'm not on my day-to-day job, it does not mean that I'm fully accessible to just anybody. I've had to learn that the hard way by not allowing people that I love, overstep boundaries that I have. And it's the basic concept of respect, but it's not so basic anymore because not everyone understands respect. I'm telling you, because I go through this with the people that I love, that sometimes they don't recognize when I'm not okay with something. And sometimes I have to establish, like, hey, this is what I'm okay with and what I'm not okay with. And if they don't listen, well, I'm sorry. I'm not I'm not going to tolerate that. And it's simple. You just don't have access to me. And that's okay. When it comes to MMA, of course, the sport is a physical contact. And I'm understanding that, yeah, if I get punched in the face, it's because, again, that's what the sport is, right? We're sparring, we're punching each other in the face. And when it comes to grappling, there's really no physical space. But I'm also understanding that when I have respect towards my teammate, we're going to make each other work. We're going to make each other work. We're going to make each other better. And it's just the same concept in my life. I've had to establish certain boundaries, certain rules when it comes to talking to me, even from the people that I love. It is the hardest thing to do. In the Mexican culture that I grew up in, boundaries is not a thing. Like, I could literally be in my room and my mom would just open the door and be like, what you doing? But over the years, I've gotten to communicate those things and build a better relationship because I've been honest about it, about the things that I'm okay with, the things that I'm not okay with, the things that hurt me, the things that don't hurt me. So I've had to build those repetitions over the years for me to see my value. And honestly, it all comes down to that. How much do I value myself to set those boundaries, respect myself, and not allow just anybody in my life just because they look good or they have a status or because they may seem like they're friendly and they may seem like they have good intentions, but not everyone's your friend. You can't call anybody just your friend. A lot of people say, oh, friends, but not everyone's your friend. Ever heard of people being seasonal friends? Some people are just there for a season in your life or a stage in your life that maybe that's what their purpose is for. Not everyone is there for every season of your life. And the ones that are there for every season of your life are the ones that are meant to be there. And so these are the things that I've had to see for myself through training, through my everyday life, for me to see that I am more valuable than what some people may seem. And regardless of what anybody says or thinks, it's not up to them. It's up to me.